doing, man. It's awesome.
So I was a little confused as to why, when this car had a Coyote before, why it's now sitting super high. Well, this car used to have K-member spacers, and when the motor got sold to the new owner, apparently the K-member spacers went with it. I should have known that because there's a lot of stick up on that bolt and no K-member spacer, and the K-member spacer also goes there. So I have to drop this down about an inch. So of course I hit up UPR and I got myself their 1-inch spacer kit, which is two half-inch, or they don't really look like half-inch in my opinion, but they supposedly are 2 half-inch spacers. These go on the top, and the smaller spacers here go on the bottom of the K-member down here. Excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and install those guys, and then on top of that, I bought a manual rack. That's right, I ended up getting a manual rack. I'm gonna get rid of the power steering rack, race car shit. I don't need power steering on a race car. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a manual rack on it. And just in case, I bought a, whatchamacallit? It's that part that goes in the, here, this. You know how expensive this is, guys? You know how expensive this is? I have no idea. Fox body stuff's not cheap anymore. So for those Fox body guys that know how much a spacer kit, the billet joint for the Flaming River shaft, heyo, and the manual rack, it's over 500 bucks. It's ridiculous. Alrighty, update. Broomstick still holding it up. Got some spacers. That's right, 1-inch spacers from UPR on both sides. Oh, I gotta stack that a little better, so I'll fix that. So got these 1-inch spacers. I also bought Flaming River rack, so you guys saw that in the last video. So installed the Flaming River manual rack and reinstalled the new swivel joint on the bottom. Everything is honky-dory. I might have to get a new piece of metal stock up there to have more meat on each side, but for now there's about ½ inch in on each side, which probably isn't enough, but for now it's gonna work. So now what I have to do is I have to get the transmission. I have to get the cross member. I have to get everything installed because I can't weld any tabs here until I know exactly where everything lies. So rear cross member from Stifler's is gonna be on order. Then make sure everything is lined up the way I want it. Then make templates out of this and the back 90-degree brackets, and then bolt everything together. Everything has to be bolted on. Obviously no torque converter for now. And when everything is in there, the whole drivetrain, meaning transmission and engine all together, being held up in the stock mount back there, then and only then can I go ahead and mark where I'm gonna put the mid plate and where the front brackets that hold these guys go. So these are null and void. Go ahead and get that done. So just giving you an update on what's going on with this guy, progressing as much as I can when I can. Hey guys, it's Alex, and today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head down to Power by the Hour, and the motor for Section 8 is down there. Well, he's got a couple of motors that I can choose from. What we're gonna look at today is an Illuminator. I've always talked on this channel about a Ford Racing Illuminator being a wonderful option if you wanna make 1,000, live at 1,000, and the car generally is gonna be pretty happy. This one, he took in, and it's been sitting for a little while. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open it up and see if it's even worth fucking with. It's, again, for those of you that don't know about Illuminators, they come with forged crank pistons and rods, you know, like Molly pistons, Manley rods, not sleeved though, stock sleeved. So I think they're good for about 1,000. I've seen many of our customers live in the 850 zone all day on an automatic without much of an issue. So my goal is to get down there, take it apart with him. He's gonna help me. This woman literally came into my lane. He's gonna help me take it apart and see if there's any issues. We're gonna boroscope it, timing chain stuff, which he's not a fan of. No one really should be a fan of. But we're gonna pull it apart, see if there's anything obvious. If there's nothing obvious and the boroscope looked good, Maybe we can do a leak down or a compression test, but nothing crazy, because he's gonna let me have it on the cheaper side. So if everything looks pretty good, we'll just go ahead and send it, give him some money, and get out of there. But at least I want to show you guys what we're gonna do to assess this situation. For the money, it's probably worth the risk, but we're gonna go ahead and take a peek at it, compression, not boroscope it, look it over, and if everything looks pretty good, you know, take one of the main bearings off, shit like that, and if nothing's super obvious, we're gonna go ahead and that'll be the new motor for the GT500. Okay, here we are at Power by the Hour. This is the Illuminator I was talking about on the way down. Obviously you can tell it's a Ford Performance Illuminator built by some guy named Andrew Weiseler, whatever. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do some slight verifying of what's going on. Probably do a boroscope situation just to look inside to see if the cylinder walls are jacked up. Maybe pull the balancer in the front cover just to see what's going on underneath there.
Yeah, and bearings.
Flip it over. Doesn't have oil in it right now, obviously. No. Flip it over. Rod, main. Take a look at them, and then go from the door. You're not on camera, just your pretty legs. All right. A quick inspection of the valve area looks pretty good. No major issues, according to Jake. I'll hurry up, Jake. I'll hurry up. Okay. Don't worry, your face is not on there. Protecting your identity.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need to determine if it's low or high compression. You said if they're dish pistons, it's probably low compression. If they're domed, they're high compression.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it goes from a $1,500 motor to a $400.
Yeah, $1,500. You wish.
Oh, wait a minute.
No compression.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boo.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Well, thanks, guys, for hanging out. That should be a different piston on that one. How can you tell? I can't really... Oh, let me see.
See, that's where it's dished right there.
You have this bubble wrap on this shit.
Here.
What the fuck?
Still new.
Oh. So if they're protruding up, what's the stock one look like? You have a stock piston here?
Yeah, it should be there.
Like that. So, okay, because it's not like that, you say it's low compression?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a flat deal?
This is the dish right here. See the circle here?
Mm-hmm. Dang. Well, it's a nice 9 to 5 compression motor for somebody. Jake convinced me to go forward with the build. He said Cobra Jets have this. So I'll just listen to him. So we're going to see what the mains look like. And then, you know, shove 40 pounds of boost through it to run an 890. Wow, what the fuck am I looking at?
Pretty crank.
So, is there obvious markings? Oh yeah, look at those. Those rods are beefy. Is that one a little bent?
Yeah, I think they're all bent. Pretty sure.
So we're gonna pull a main bearing and a couple of rod bearings, or just one and one, just to peek at it.
Yeah, we'll look at the thrust. We'll pull the cap off with the thrust.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out, and then we'll pull a rod. I don't think you're gonna see any problems though.
Nah, it looks pretty. Where is it?
Right here.
Oh, here we go. So this is one of the rod bearings. Looks super new, super clean. So we're gonna pull that main cap, and if it looks good, we're gonna bolt it back on, and we're gonna call it good. And then we'll see what we do about the chain stuff later on. That's on me though. Okay. In case you guys wonder why I talk highly on Illuminators, is they use they use really good hardware. This is a factory Illuminator. Even though it's low compression, they use Billy Badass stuff. So again, if you're not looking to make 1,500 horsepower, an Illuminator is fine. Is the crank... Okay, shut the fuck up. You said it had boss heads. This does not have boss heads. Now he's telling me it has a boss crank. I think it's just a stock ass low compression deal with rods and
There's a
pistons.
part number on it. If you want to see.
On the crank?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on. It's over here.
Where?
If it's boss, what do I get?
This did.
I get that for free.
Gay.
No part number.
No partner. I mean, there's something. What is that?
dates.
Dates.
Probably when it was built.
1031. Wow, this is from the future. That.
Here you go.
BR3A. BR3A. BR3E. C41E. Yeah, I'll look it up later. Watch it be like a nodular shit, like worse than that. Maybe I should call the guy that's on the tag to see what's in it. Oh yeah, daddy.
Right.
Oh, the two different ones?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll see you later, Mr. Mills.
All
Good
right,
job.
watch out, Christina, with the bot if you come out here.
Okay. I can't get over you.
You're not gonna touch it because you don't have gloves?
I don't have gloves. Fuck you. Fuck you. Watch, I'm gonna jerk off later. It's gonna be super lubricated. You're like, wow, it came really fast. Had oil in your hands. Come on, baby. Bro, how long is this motherfucker? Boy, you must not satisfy the ladies. It's taking you a while. You're out of practice, bro.
I did too.
You're out of practice. You're right. Fuck. You're not out of practice. I'm out of practice.
Wait, am I bragging about coming first?
Hey, yo. All right. There goes my beautiful hands. Mm. Mm. I don't know.
It's not working. Hold on. I don't know why.
All right.
Set screw? Not a set screw, but an Allen.
Oh, basically, is that screw?
It's like a preload deal.
Oh. Whoa. Yeah, I bitch is new, bro. We're gonna send this shit. Look, it's got the number on the bitch still. Yeah, we're just gonna send this shit. Low compression, here we come.
Rust is beautiful.
45 PSI, here we come. What's it say there? The guy sign it and shit? What is that?
Where?
I see marks. Oh, no, that's just the
You
oil.
imagine
It's
it.
the oil. No. Yeah, it's the oil. I don't fucking know. Like, oh, did he sign that?
Yeah.
All
very
right,
good.
stick it back in there, daddy. Put it back in. Like a glove. Okay, so rod bearings, one looked fine. One thrust main looked fine. We're gonna send it. So yeah, we're gonna probably see what the deal is and what it takes to run on low compression. Do you know if it's 9 to 5 to 1 or 9? Okay, 9 to 5 to 1, which is basically what came on Cobra jets. Okay, so Cobra jets came with an Illuminator if you buy a Cobra jet from the factory. So basically, we'll see if with a Whipple or a good efficient blower at. Remember, this thing made 1,100 on 30 PSI with the 4.5 liter Whipple. So if this thing makes the same thing on a Whipple with about the same boost, then you know what? That kind of kills the argument of Trinity versus Coyote, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. So like I said, I'm getting a good deal on this. So beggars can't be choosers. We just found out it's low compression. So we're going to go ahead and seal it back up. Figure out what I do about the front end there because it has some parts that, you know, some of us might not want to have on there. We'll see. All right, well, after checking out the mains, rods, and finding out it's a low compression Illuminator, I'm taking it home. Fuck it. It's a good deal. Okay, so oil pan, crank is in it, block. No rods, obviously, and pistons because they're here. So I'll probably just keep this on the truck. I'm not gonna. Oh look, he sent me a shirt. Hey, what a nice guy. Awesome. Okay, so I'll leave this alone, you know, and then I'll figure out what's going on here. This is hopefully the rods, pistons, and bearings, and we'll see. Thank you guys. Wow, you know. I like you guys very much. You guys wrapped it up nicely. Honestly, I almost hesitate to take it apart because it's going to go somewhere else to have a fifth party look at it. But I'm just curious to see the bearing wear and to see if it's as bad as they said it was. And I'll take a peek at a couple. I think they're all here and we'll see what's going on. So here we have the rods and pistons. L&M did say that there were some spots of copper showing on the bearings, and I found that, to be honest, surprising. These bearings, pistons, the whole new motor build has less than 200 miles on it, 3 or 4 dyno hits. That's it. And I'm like, okay, and in those dyno hits, the car was just making no power. So look, L&M is on the money. L&M is not lying. They're actually looking at the bearing wear and assessing it properly. So obviously I must have pulled bearings from an area that wasn't having any issues, but you can clearly see that some of the bearing material, that's why I got my phone out. My phone out has way better quality than the other one. Is starting to see that there's already starting to show pretty decent amount of wear. And again, to the layman, the guy that doesn't know nothing. But yeah, this to me does not look like a 200-mile build. This looks to me like this was, look, you know what the deal is. I don't have to explain what the deal is, okay? I've gone in so much to let you guys know what my experience is. The fact that I go through this to maybe teach you who to use and who not to use. Fuck it, I'll take one for the team. I'll be the sacrificial lamb. I'll be the one that takes it up the ass so that others don't have to. So what's going to happen with this complete rotating assembly is I have someone that was super nice that said, hey man, I'm willing to peek at it, take our time, no rush. You're not in a rush, so we'll just do what we can, try to bring it to really good spec, and we'll take a look at what's going on in here, take a look at all that stuff, make sure everything's good, take a look at the crank, because L&M suggested me buying a new crank, and that was like crazy, but I understand. They want to put their name behind it. They want badass new stuff. So here's the update, guys. The assessment was that the crank snout was beat up and potentially bent, causing abnormal wear on the bearings. That's what they say. So the copper showing on the bearings tell me that they were, you know, on the right track when it comes to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my due diligence and talk to the engine builder that reached out to me, and I trust this one. I trust. And nothing against L&M. Love you guys. I just, you know, wanted to have a set of experienced eyes look at it, a third party that's not associated with anything. They were nice enough to do a teardown and inspection. I got it back. I verified at least visually their stuff. The next guy said, hey, if you ain't in a rush, buddy, I'll fucks with it, even though this isn't my cup of tea. Meaning, you know, they know engines, but 5.4, 5.8s are not their wheelhouse, let's just say. But I trust their work more than what the last person who supposedly builds engines specializes in this. And that's a $12,000 build right there. $12,000 gone, just like that, just like gone, useless, money out the window, useless to me. So I'm going to talk about what I'm going to put in the GT500 in the meantime, and that'll be the GT500 engine update. Okay, so what's the plan going forward, right? The Trinity motor obviously needs to get rebuilt because $12,700 apparently buys you a 200-mile motor that makes 200 less horsepower with 2 more points of full points of compression. And pistons, yeah, $12,700 buys you a 200-mile high compression motor that makes less power than the previous motor that lasted 4 years, with stock chains, by the way. So after talking to Jake said, look, I got a couple of motors that you might be interested in. He offered me a Predator motor. Now, the Predator motor, truth be told, would have been an awesome thing to put in the GT500. But let's be honest, what does it take to install basically a Predator motor that has Gen 3 architecture, a TC298, I think, computer, similar, and to mate it to the GT500 so that everything works, the dash, all that stuff? Well, the problem is that was going to be almost impossible. What would have had to happen is I would have had to have somehow had some custom wiring to incorporate the... Why the fuck every time I make a video, some jank shit drives down the street? Anyway, I would have had to make a new computer, new PCM, then the control pack, then make it sort of made up to the body control module, and see if like all the other stuff works with it. If not, it would have been literally a shell of a car that nothing works on it except the engine. I didn't want that. This is a Gen 1 Illuminator, and unfortunately, you can look at it two different ways. It's a low compression Illuminator. Now let's start talking about low compression Illuminator versus a Predator motor. Both are 9 to 5 to 1 compression, give or take. I know it might be a point or two difference here. The Predator motor has a way better cylinder head, cam, valves, the whole 9 yards. This Illuminator has a way better bottom end. It is not 5.2 though, but it does have Manley rods, Molly pistons, and I think the crank is pretty stout. So what do I need to do to this low compression Illuminator to make it worthwhile putting into my GT500? Honestly, a cam upgrade. I'm not going to go ahead and start taking these heads off and making a GT350 Illuminator, because then that makes the whole budget go out of the water. I got this motor for a very good price. The Predator motor would have been over 14,000 bucks, like big money. The Predator motor is big money. Now you're asking yourself, why don't you go 3, 2, 1? It would have been more expensive than this motor. Now, I know that I talked about not getting a low compression Illuminator. I think that's silly. But because of the price, and because that I know that if I upgrade the valve train, meaning cams, maybe springs, this thing is going to make decent power, but it's going to require more boost to make that power than an 11 to 1 or 12 to 1 compression Illuminator. In theory, I should have gotten a Gen 3 Illuminator, 12 to 1 compression, find some cylinder heads out there, find cam stuff, but the problem is this, that would have been way more expensive. The only reason I am running this Illuminator is because of the price. So I got a very good deal on it. So what I'm going to do is make lemonade, because it's raining lemons right now. The Trinity motor is going to get looked at by a third party. Thank you, L&M, for diagnosing it, and I really appreciate you verifying and being honest with your assessment, because you said some copper was showing on some of the bearings, and I was like, no fucking way. The thing has 200 miles. It's impossible. It did. It's okay. So the plan is this. Upgrade the old pump gears, because I don't think this thing has badass old pump gears. Check out what's going on with the valve train. The chains. I think it has some upgraded parts that I'm going to look into probably replacing, because it's just some stuff that we prefer not to run. And get a set of ComCam Stage 3 cams. Now that's going to allow me to probably make up to 800 horsepower on pump gas. I know that sounds really stupid, but it's such low compression with better camshafts that I probably, at like 20 pounds of boost, would make 800 or so on pump gas. But that's not what I'm going to do. I'm just saying, in theory, I could probably make 800 on pump gas. No different than a GT500. Imagine if I have an upgraded set of cams on this thing. Rods, pistons, 9 to 5 compression, just like a GT500. Zing it up to 300 RPMs, 20 pounds of boost. It's probably going to make close to 800 wheel. So what I'm going to do is, with about 20 degrees of timing, but I'm going to run on the 85, I'm going to run on ethanol 1R, and it's probably going to require 25 pounds of boost or more to make the power I need to propel the GT500 to go 890s in the quarter mile stick shift. And that's the goal. So while this guy is going to be the workhorse in the GT500, but again, I'm going to go with modern blower technology, aftermarket camshafts, potentially new springs, keep the long block as is, and hopefully we can make a lemonade out of the lemons that are falling out of the sky right now. So there's the update. The update is we're going to go with a Gen 1 9 to 5 compression Illuminator because of the price, not because of the fact that it's better or anything. It was cheaper than a 321, cheaper than a Gen 2 or 3 Illuminator, and cheaper than a Predator by a long shot, and cheaper than a stock Gen 3 motor. Like, this was because it was in stock, and you know, not a lot of people are looking for a low compression Illuminator. I got it for a smoking deal, so I can't really complain about that. As always, I support my people at Ultimate Header, and we're gonna go ahead and run 1 7/8 headers on this guy, and made it up to the existing X-pipe on the GT500. So we're going to be running Ultimate headers. I bought these, Power by the Hour. They had them in stock. S197 headers because that's what it's going in, GT500 S197. So I'll be running Coyote Ultimate headers on literally everything I got going on except the Fairmount. So there's the update. I showed you the damage in the GT500 rod bearings, verifying what the L&M said. Very disappointed. I lost $12,700 on a deal. But look at it this way. If you watch my channel, if you follow me on Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and YouTube, you know who you should never take your motor to. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later.